What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So this is a different style of video. We're going to show you the process of building a guitar basically from scratch at one of Texas Toast Guitar's workshops. The reason I want to do this is a couple. One, well, we'll talk about it, but I think it really builds appreciation for what goes into building any guitar, not just a custom one. And so we'll get your thoughts on that, because you've never done this before.
No, I've never even met him before.
Right.
Then.
And you've never even done anything with guitar construction at all, except for pickup stuff. And then the other thing is that I also think that anybody can do this. I think that
absolutely.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about a couple of things. And what we're going to do is we're going to look at some of these clips that we took over the week. We're going to talk about them a little bit. And we're going to let's just dive right in. This first clip that we're looking at of Chris is him explaining stuff. My question to you is, for somebody who's never actually done anything with this stuff, do you feel like you could walk into that room with a bunch of tools and feel like he's going to put you in front of a tool and be comfortable like it was?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So the explanations were good. It was...
Well, that, and they don't just turn it on and walk away from you. Like, they do help.
Yep.
I mean, not help, but guide, I guess is the word.
So they make it to where it's like, yeah, you're not going to fail. They're going to let you mess up, but they're also going to let you do it.
Yes.
If that makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even say they let you mess up necessarily. Like,
right.
Because they don't. I mean.
Right. And so they go into pretty good detail about what they want you to do. And so let's go ahead and watch you do something. So you're shaping a neck in this video.
There was no sarcasm.
So
in that?
it seems like it's terrifying, but it's really not.
Okay.
What we'll do is we'll push it in a little bit till it starts cutting, and then we'll just pull it this way, stop, and come out, and then turn it around and do it the other way. Okay?
Then multiple passes like Matt did, I'm
Yeah.
guessing. Okay.
Yeah. Probably just two.
Had you ever used a pin router before?
No, I didn't even know what it was.
Even though it looks kind of scary?
It wasn't bad.
No. And again, Chris doing a good job of explaining stuff. What I think is interesting on day one, Deadhead Center. So this is the way they used to do it at all the old factories, like the traditional way of shaping a neck. So after you take a lot of the material off with the pin router. Then they'd take you over to the deadhead sander. Was this scary?
Not really. I've never seen one, so that was kind of weird, and I didn't know how fast it would go. But I wouldn't necessarily say it was scary because I mean it really is just sandpaper. I mean,
Right.
Which sandpaper can be not so cool, but at the same time, it is just sandpaper.
Did you feel like you were going to mess it up? No? Good. Because that's one of the scarier tools I think that they put in front of people. Okay, now. This was a lot of your day neck shaping. Talk to me about this.
That was so much. I didn't know how much sanding like actually went into it. Like by hand. It was a lot. I mean, it wasn't bad. Like it wasn't miserable, but it was a lot. I definitely ate off part of my knuckles with that thing on accident when I slipped.
The rasp. So what I think a lot of people don't realize is even when you use machines, and actually even when you use CNC machines, there's a lot of this to do. There was a lot. I mean, you use the machine for what? A minute and a half, and then spent hours doing this.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, it was neat. Like, I appreciated how much goes into one of the guitars that they make every time because that is how they do it.
And then we're going to go ahead and shape the back of the headstock. So this is an interesting tool because this is also old-fashioned Fender the way they used to do it. And that's why they have that little
That one was
shape.
kind of cool.
Yeah. He's got the depth all figured out and the shape all figured out. And then you push it in there and it thicknesses the headstock to the right thickness. Yeah. But all these processes take time. Like we're showing you in a few minutes, but this was a week of this. Like just
It was a lot. It was a lot of fun, and I learned a lot about it, but it was a lot.
And then back to neck shaping.
Yeah.
Now here's something interesting. You see that it's lower on both ends, but that was also because you were doing some other shaping afterwards. So more rasp work, and then more rasp work. Like hours of it.
It was a lot of rasp work.
Now, back to the pin router. What are we doing here?
That was shaping the pickups.
Yep, routing pickup locations into this hollow body. You probably never used one this way with the template on the bottom before?
It was really cool because, I mean, it's really hard to screw that part up.
Yes. That is like Chris said earlier, it seems scary, but it's actually really, really neat.
It is really neat.
The way it works. Yeah.
I kept going the wrong way, but...
Oh, yeah. You kept going clockwise instead of counterclockwise or whatever it was supposed to be.
Yeah, I was going the wrong way.
I don't remember. These are the locator pins that locate all the templates so that everything is lined up, so that the pickups are in the right place, so that the neck pocket is in the right place. And once you're done with all the routing, then it can go away. Now, one of the things you talked about is that you've never used a bandsaw before.
No.
Which is interesting. I thought you would have. So this is...
I've used sketchier things.
Yes, but you've never used a bandsaw. So, what we're doing here... What are we doing here? Oh.
That was the cutaway.
Yeah. So this is the first time she'd ever used a bandsaw. What you didn't see in this video is a few minutes before her practicing a little bit with some scraps and stuff. Again, this speaks to the instruction there at Texas Toast because he wasn't gonna let you mess this up. You know, like this is obviously a very important part of the guitar, establishing the cutaway. Pretty cool. And taught you how to do it.
Yep.
Drilling all of the holes. I guess we missed the CNC machine cutting the lightning bolt.
I think we did.
Yep.
It's okay though.
So now you're drilling your control plate holes, or well, your control holes. So your volume, tone. Making sure that it's in the right place with a very tall workbench.
They eventually lowered it down,
They did.
which I know is just kind of to be smart, but it was
And
fine.
now we sand.
And sand some more.
And sand some more, and sand some more. This is something I don't think people realize. So even in a factory, you are, even with the CNC machine, you still have to sand. Sand and sand and sand and sand and sand. So this was many grits of paper, front, back, sides, over and over and over and over for literally days. Did you know there was going to be that much sanding?
I had an idea, but I didn't have that much of an idea.
Yeah. You know, it's funny, like I was just saying, even in a CNC fully automated environment, they still have, this is not that, but they still have this much sanding.
Yeah.
No matter what, the wood has to be prepped for paint. And so it has to be sanded this much. Now let me ask you, this is an interesting thing. People talk a lot about building materials. Mm-hmm. You had a mahogany back and sides, and you had a maple top. Mm-hmm. Did you notice how much difference it was in machining the maple versus the mahogany? And
Absolutely.
what did you notice about that?
I would much rather sand mahogany than maple.
Way easier, huh?
Yeah, it's softer.
Yeah. That's funny because a lot of people think that mahogany's so dense and blah, blah,
No.
sustain and all that.
It's very porous, very easy to work with.
It's weird. There's a
it's
lot.
interesting, yeah.
There's a lot of air there. Yeah, and it's lighter than you think too. Mahogany is actually a pretty light wood. This is where we start to get into some next level stuff. I think a lot of people
Did you see what Matt did?
take your hair out of the way.
No.
What did he do? Hang on, let's watch that again. What did he do? Oh my gosh. That's funny. So a lot of folks don't realize how much work binding is. Mm-hmm. A lot of people think that this guitar costs more than that guitar. The parts are just going to jump on there magically. This is the first step. We are routing the rabbet for the binding that goes around the top of the body. And this is just the start of an insane process. Talk about this and what doing this. This was hours and hours too, right?
That was such a pain in my butt.
Yeah. So literally what you're doing is you're taking the binding, you're wrapping it around the guitar.
Oh, well, it depends.
And heating it, bending it,
Yeah.
wrapping it, taping
Taping
it, heating it, bending it, wrapping it, taping it. And then you're using acetone to bind it. It basically...
It's some kind of chemical
Yeah,
reaction.
it chemically bonds it to the guitar. Gibson does this exactly the same way. The only difference with theirs is they have a couple of production things that they do where they there's a little groove on the back of the binding that locks into the guitar. It makes it a little bit easier to align it up in a production environment. And then the other thing they do is they actually apply acetone to the binding as it comes out of the binding dispenser, sort of almost like a glue application. It's not glue though. And then and then they have these ropes that they use to. It looks like it's a lot faster, but it's still just as an involved a thing. So yeah, pretty crazy. And then we start to get into some super tedious stuff. A lot of folks will complain about production fretwork, and the reason is because they don't take the time that you took to do fretwork.
That was a thing.
Very tedious.
Yeah.
Very tedious.
I don't like the sound.
You don't like the sound. Yeah, Mom doesn't like that sound either. Very tedious, and again, this is hours and hours of fretwork. And then, obviously, we're doing a glue-in neck, so we're gluing in the neck.
Yep.
A lot less glue than you would think.
Yeah.
Interesting, right?
It was weird.
Yeah. Interesting. A lot less glue. Clamped it in, let it sit for about an hour and a half, something like that. And then we start to get into finishing. So this is an interesting process that a lot of production shops use. This stuff is called pore filler. basically it fills in the pores of the wood and makes it to where the wood is smooth when you paint it. And then this stuff is actually rubbed into the wood and then cured with a UV light. And that makes it to where it's a lot quicker to do, but it's also like a $4,000 UV light to do this.
Yeah.
It's pretty wild.
Stuff feels
It's gross, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, slimy and gross. But it works really well, and it is a good product. This is not a do-it-yourself at-home product.
no.
Definitely not.
Yeah,
So-
I was not.
You didn't like that stuff, did you?
It stunk.
Yep. And then the guitars are sealed with a, I think they use Simtech there, and then sanded again with
Yes.
320.
That wasn't bad.
That wasn't bad. It goes pretty quick. Yeah. It goes pretty
Relatively.
quick. Yep. At least on the flat surfaces. But you have to sand all those little surfaces, all those little curves, right?
Oh, yeah.
And again, in a production environment, this has to happen as well. So we're talking, again, hours and hours and hours and hours of work. Sanding the top and the back and the sides and
And the
getting
neck,
and the neck and
everything.
everything and getting everything super.
Oh, my God.
And then we start masking. You had to mask the fretboard like 3 or 4 times. And then we start masking because when you bind a guitar, not only do you have to bind the guitar, but you also have to mask it for binding. The other thing I thought was interesting, and a lot of people take for granted, is if the peg head, well, why can't the peg head be black or a different color? That was a tedious process to just mask the peg head off.
Yeah. That was like 3 different size tapes and.
So we're talking about a lot of process here. Of course,
That's my jam.
you know how to
with
solder.
that.
That's your jam. And so we're putting together the controls for that. And now,
We can't show that part.
we can't show this part. There will be a part 2 to this because we don't want to give away the color. We don't want to give away...
I mean, people on Patreon.
Yep, that's true. But you had the hand scrape binding with a tiny razor blade. These are processes that people take for granted. Well, I just want binding on my guitar.
No.
Well, how does it
You're
get
paying
there?
more for binding.
How does it get there? Like how all the little tedious things that it takes to do it. Okay, so you built this guitar.
Yep.
As someone who has no experience with building guitars, as someone who has really no experience with buying them, except for seeing them around here, we've got fancy ones and cheaper ones and expensive ones and project ones. And what is your takeaway from this entire experience about guitar building in general? Just give me your overall.
One, outside of an acoustic guitar, I don't really think the wood matters.
Okay.
Except for the look. Like,
Okay.
the tone wood. I understand it has a point at some point. Not constantly.
Right?
I really like mahogany more than I like maple.
Because it's easier to work. Yep.
And I have a new appreciation of what all of the parts of the guitar are. And why you have to be... Like, why people appreciate different aspects of them. And I also think you should definitely pay more for binding.
I think you should pay more for everything. I think, okay, so let me ask you this. If you saw that guitar, well, I will tell you, that guitar is going to be $28.95.
Okay?
Do you think that's too expensive?
No.
Why?
Because I worked on it for a week on that guitar. And that's not, it wasn't even done. Like, that wasn't me shaping the body. That wasn't me cutting out the neck. That was just shaping. That wasn't even
We didn't do
gluing
any.
it together. That
we
wasn't
didn't do any electronics in it yet.
right.
So we're talking about $300, $400 worth of electronics.
We
We're
don't have
talking
all the
about
covers
tuners.
for it.
Yep.
We
all
don't
that
have
stuff.
any of it done.
No. So.
And it took a week.
Right. So when you're looking at a made in the United States guitar that is crafted by human beings, and even if a CNC machine was involved, to be honest with you,
It should not be less than $2,500.
No.
Period. Like, that is bare minimum.
yeah. If you think about anything else in life, right? Like what it costs, anything, you know, a TV, whatever, doesn't matter. Something handmade like this, even if it was CNC machined first, the basic shape.
Yeah.
All those hours, except for the first 15 minutes, are still the same. All the sanding, all the everything, all that stuff is still the same, except for the first half hour of work, really. So that's interesting. I'm glad that you caught on to that. I think one of the things that we learn here at DylanTalksTone when people learn how to wind pickups and stuff, is they never complain about how much pickup costs anymore.
It's a lot.
It's
a lot of work.
Yeah, well, you know, making pickups, you know, if a pickup is $100, you know the hours that go into that, and the skill that's required,
and the amount of times that I've burned myself,
and those machines aren't cheap. Those machines aren't free. Matt says, I wasn't just born with all this equipment. You have to, you know, and the rent to pay for the building and all that stuff. So there's a lot of costs involved with this stuff and a lot of.
On top of him doing it all by hand,
work and time and passion too.
Because they care a lot. Like, you can tell. They get excited when you get excited. Like, they are invested in what they're doing.
Yep. So, a couple lessons from this. I think I bang on about this a lot, but it's nice to get your perspective on it. Don't complain about how much guitars cost, especially nice ones. There's a lot that goes into it. And that's number one. And number two, if you still don't believe me, then I'll leave a link to the 5280 Luthiery workshop in the description, and I think you should go do this.
I think so too. If you have any doubts about why a guitar costs so much, you should definitely take a class.
Yep. It'll give you a whole new appreciation. Plus, at the end, you'll have a beautiful instrument that you'll be able to keep for the rest of your life and be very proud of.
And he was even talking about doing, like, the whole 2-week thing. Mm-hmm. Like, where you...
Yeah, so there's a whole bunch of different courses and classes and all kinds of stuff that you can take there. No, I'm glad that we did this. It was a 3,000-mile drive and a whole bunch of work and time, but man, it was really fun. And
it was super neat. I learned a lot.
I'm glad that you came, and especially since you do what you do for us over there in the office over there, fuller picture of what goes on with this stuff, which I think is really cool. Anyway, I just wanted to share that with you. I wanted to share the experience with you. This is the best that we've ever been able to cover something like this. There will be a part 2 because this guitar is going to be finished and in our hands in about 2 weeks. We had to leave early, so we couldn't stay for the last part. So she's actually going to go to Colorado and physically pick it up. And then we will see it here back at the shop. And we're doing something very special with that particular guitar. So stay tuned. If you want to know more, hang out on Patreon, patreon.com/DylanTalksTone. Actually, tonight, if you're watching this the day this video comes out, Monday, August 25th, we're going to have a Patreon hangout at 8 p.m. Eastern Time for the highest level of Patreon on Zoom. And we'll probably talk more about this, and they know some more details over there, and so we're going to share some more stuff that we're not going to share here until that guitar comes home. So, thanks for hanging out. Hit the subscribe button, and we'll see you in the next video.